Hello, greetings everybody! Welcome back to the Oceania Long No Tournament. I really like putting the long no tournament because this is going to be a long one. That's not going to be a shorter one. We've got a lot of people, we've got a lot to cover today. And I'm really excited to join this qualifier results showcase and round of 64 showcase. I am Patiraj. I'll be commentating with Logan. How are you?
What's up? I'm doing all right, Patiraj. I am honestly just so excited for this tournament, man. We are getting started with a long and tremendous bracket stage, and we're going to be opening that up for you guys today. We're going to be starting with the qualifier results. From there, we're going to be going into the round of 64 Mappool showcase. We got a long one. It's going to be a good one, and I hope you guys are excited.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited. Like, I was talking about the results with a bunch of people. I was mentioning the fact that those results, I have no idea what they're gonna look like. We're going in blind. No one wanted to give us the results.
Yeah, I asked multiple times, trust me. So we have no clue what to expect. You guys don't either. We are going to be taking this in with you.
Yeah, I guess without further ado, we'll start from the bottom actually. So congratulations, Sigerion, for getting last place.
Yeah, so little thing to know, for people who didn't qualify, this tournament was brutal to qualify for. You see we had 117 people show up, and honestly it was insane to qualify for this tournament. If you didn't qualify, just take it as motivation to come back stronger for something else. It is just, this tournament's crazy, man. But yeah, starting off we have Siger, GE Arthur, Anthrax, GameMaker26, Orca, Minhyo, I don't know how to say that, Asifus, Kunto, and Slow AF.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed your experience nonetheless.
And so just going up to the next now, we have, where was I? Okay, Epic Man 2, Chronixus, Ryan Wong 1216, The Raider, Kuru, Sineab, and Valim. Did you see... These are names of people I kind of already recognize. Like, I know some of these players.
So, I know Sinead is not, like, a stranger to long notes, so getting a seat 103 is, like, kind of surprising. We're going up. Anyways, the Valen, Dylan, Frostleaf, Ham? Ham is here?
What? Wait. Dude, what? Wow, okay.
Sparky is not... Sparky is seat 97. Like, I knew Sparky had a decent stage 1. That's like seat 67, but that's not enough.
That's crazy. Yeah, and we see that already is close to a qualifying mark on stage 1. See that specialization there. Sparky put a great play there.
Yeah, going up, Urka, Fox, Ellis Fox. Survey is here? What?
Wow. Got Serby, Northern, BT Seal, Adamello, Mama Junko, Proxe. Proxe is a really old player. Dean Boy.
Wow, some of those names I already recognize, and I feel like some of those players might be actually better than me. What? Wow, I'm not qualifying.
Don't worry, me neither.
Anyways, going up. Dora, Krakos, Show, P-Doc, Forney, Hi Seraphine, MVJ, Kino Journey. We're getting closer to the 64, and once we get to 64, we're gonna get deep into it.
Dude, Nepco, wow.
What? Ping Nepco? I almost mistook Leo for Leon. It was like, huh?
Leon didn't call. Dude, that's how ET the tournament is. It's 2 ET for Leon.
It's 2 ET for Leon.
Yeah, these are already some names that like I'm recognizing from like 4-digit MWC, early rounds of soft, just like people like Dokor. That is the #1 player in Peru, and he did not qualify. That is ridiculous.
Terror is a good, I think, Peruvian player as well, if I'm not mistaken. Sky and Numash are not qualifying. They're actually getting better nowadays. What? Gyoza is not qualified. Flake is not qualified. I'm over.
Okay.
I'm
I
over.
apologize to you two. Seed 65 and 66. That is madness. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Freak, multi-time 4DM player. Gyoza Goki, 4DM player, MWC player this year. Diamond Genius 75 FC'd every map in the lobby, I believe. So, just GG's to you guys either way. Unfortunately, just barely at the cutoff before bracket stage. But with that, we are going to get into the people who did advance. And it is going to be one of the craziest brackets I think ever assembled.
Okay, so the gap between Tosai and Gyoza is actually not small. It's like 65 versus 62 in terms of average rank. That's what matters in terms of metrics to qualify. Heimak is actually qualifying. Good job. Namirinchan. Oh, Jerem, my boy. Oh my god. Two of the French players are actually next to each other. Babybel and Jerem. Congratulations to my boys.
Yeah, then we have Cryolian, Delia, ERA, Medium, Keck. All three of these people, players who have played tournaments for a few years now, and still close to that bottom. Congrats on qualifying. We see seed 33, 47 on these early game scores, and that is going to be really threatening to whoever is at the top.
Yeah, what I really like to see is that many players had their own specific skill sets. Like the categories were actually quite polarizing depending on the players.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kiraz, my boy is actually qualifying. To think that I thought Kiraz was a Rise player actually knows their lens, my boy.
You see, there's a lot of players, and we see like Frostno, players who you don't really recognize right away who are qualifying, and it's awesome.
Yeah, newer players. Halogen is actually qualifying seed number 49. Congratulations to my boy.
Congratulations. You see Halogen, known for years as a staple in the accuracy tech front, dusted off his LNs and managed to get a nice qualifying spot. Really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, especially in late game. Samuel has been the mainstay in the Netherlands scene, for example. Stigix and the Malaysian, I think. Adam is seed 46.
Wow. That stage 1 is really good for a seed 46. I wish we could see the individual scores. I think he got like a 990 or something. So that's how many 990s there were on that stage. Got Ider, good across the board.
Yeah. Oh, Dog Mew, my other French-speaking guy. Mint is actually seed 43. That's actually quite interesting.
The interesting about Mint, I think this is her like tournament debut per se. I mean, she has a couple LAN badges, but she's been in the staffing scene for quite some time. Came out, got some really good runs on the qualifiers. We have JH Leet Girl, MWC second place at seed 42. Very fun.
Yeah. It's only going downhill from here. Well, uphill as we're going up in the seedings. And Pelpi, Spanish mainstay, Zerx, one of the Brazilian players. It's a shame that Amaron was not able to play because of life.
Shoira, very good. Like Netherlands, probably second best player. GS Link, a mainstay in the US, almost made MWC a lot before. Really good stage 1 and stage 4 there. Ciaro, really good, like kind of late game, but you see that early game has a bit of a fall off, and seeing that dynamic in like a middle seed is going to be really interesting when comparing to other players.
And you got to be careful because Ciaro, that accuracy deficit, that's gonna be dangerous for round 64. You're gonna see the maps. Yoki Yuga and Achino. I'm not. What is this? This trio. This is only seed 33, 34, and 35, and those players are busted.
Yeah, we're gonna start getting to see our matchups now. By the way, after we get through Einar and then on Vindusty, which those are really scary players. That's gonna be a crazy match. See Gendarin, one of Chile's best LN players, coming in at 31. C2S coming at 30. Lalita, one of the...
Zero Chisno is still that good? Wow.
Yeah, he really got some shocker scores to me. Getting top 30 in this tournament, like you see, Lalito898 has some insane love scores. Like, this is where we're going to get into the players who just are gods at this game. see Sonny XXY Unitori.
Oh, Unitori was actually a surprising name. I did not know that name before. And wow, their results on everything but stage 1 is actually insane.
Neo KJE. You can take the few next.
Yeah, Meikiki, Brazilian name as well. I think an uprising name, looking to be replacing some of the mainstays from Brazil, Amram. Let's not forget about Demi-Fiend, who's gonna most likely be on the top, but where exactly, we have no idea. Walmart, C23, that's actually a really good performance from him, from what I know from the profile.
Yeah, and we have Jie, a very new Filipino player, getting it 24th. That stage 2 is something to be afraid of. Shiro Pedifresa is going to get seed 22. Really, really new Spanish player. I think they're new anyways. I haven't seen them around too long.
Sudden
Death 21.
Sudden Death is seed 21.
Get out of here.
Sunapple! Sunapple is actually better than Sudden Death.
So true.
What?
Sunapple had a really good performance. We have Suki Dio, really new Singaporean LN god. Ruka, a really old mainstay. XXX 2800, been around for a while too.
Yeah,
or better known as Apple.
Yeah, also known as Apples. Ruka from Australia. Shoutouts. Just wow, Apples is seat 17. Who's top 16?
Yeah. Think so.
What? I think Geisto must have choked stage 4.
From what I remember, Geisto only did one run of the qualifiers. He did not take a second run, and neither did Aishiteru. So, better known as Ven, X-Ven, one of the best MWC players to exist. And Soft 6 second place, one of the best LN players there. A lot to go over that specific player. The fact they're only seed 15 is ridiculous. Good luck, seed 2.
Samira, a really good Korean LN player. A-Sharp? A-Sharp?
A-Sharp has been climbing the ladder this past, since 2021, man. A-Sharp's just gotten better every month after month. Blew MWC out of the roof. Really hyped to see that guy that high.
Yeah,
Flying
absolutely. That's just mind-blowing to see some of those players up there. Let's go up. We're gonna be starting to get closer to the top 10. Oh wow, those names I don't even know. Those are really good standing. Lamy and Mr. Moon.
Lammy is a beat map nominator. I had no clue they were this good. But you see that late game, number 7 in stage 3 and 4 getting the Snake Eyes there. That is awesome. We have Mr. Moo, a Canadian 7P player who I didn't even know before this tournament, getting seed 11.
Yeah, by the way, look at the average score. We're starting to see where it's at in terms of top 10.
Yeah.
And wow, the gap between the average rank is getting really huge. There's a massive gap between A-Shop and Lamy.
You see number 10 starting off our big top 10 is going to be Aura.
What?
Which I was a little surprised about. I knew Aura was good, right? Going back to Soul 2 days, they almost him and Pimu almost beat Lotus and Amaram. This guy is good. I did not know he was going to get top 10 in this tournament. And some really hype for him, French MWC legend.
Rapporte la coupe à la maison, Aura. Anyways, Ice Cake seed number 3 on stage 1. Wow, Ice Cake is that good.
Yeah, Ice Cake, one of the most insane release players to spring up in the past year. Japanese MWC first timer this year, got to top 6, and honestly, they one of the people who has turned Japan from a rice country to an LN country, if I'm being real.
Yeah, along with Kruke. I gotta wonder where Kruke would have gotten in this leaderboard. Seed number 8. Onta Bekasi, I think, yeah, that's gonna come from Indonesia. One of the top players from Indonesia, actually.
Really well-rounded, a little bit behind on that stage 4, that inverse fundamental stage, but for this early game, they are going to be scary, at least until quarterfinals.
Wait, they're actually tied in average rank with Ice Cake.
That's crazy.
We're actually gonna get really, really close, and I feel like the top 10 is actually closely tight knit together. Pavin! Pavin? What?
Yeah.
I thought Pavin was a Rise player from 4DM.
Pavin's one of the biggest shockers on this to me. His lobby, I think he averaged 992 on the maps. He blew it out of the water. This man has been improving like straight for the past 12 months, and here he is, top 7 seeds. Grill Roasted's going to be at number 6.
There's a lot of names in this leaderboard. I thought they were literally like Rise players, but they definitely know their LN fundamentals. Like, we cannot sleep on those players.
Yeah, Grill Roasted's just been one of like an insane all-rounder. To come out of Czech Republic, a country that I didn't even think had mania prevalence until Grill Roasted put it on the map.
Yeah, that's actually quite insane. Gonna be curious where we would get at in terms of European coverage. Grip Warrior, one of the US best players, arguably the best one right now who is active.
Number 5 seed for them. Quite really insane run. You see 4, 7, 6, and 3. Like, that's a balanced, good qualifier. That's really, really good stuff out of them.
That's actually incredible. Yeah. Seed number 14. Wow, I feel like compared to those other players, I think Ting from the UK is like one of the LN carries from the UK, and I guess one of the best LN players in the world. Even that just comes to prove it.
Yeah, and Ting really has a history of destroying qualifiers. Last year was on the UK 2021 team that got Seed 2, got Seed 3 this soft, and now they are Seed 4 here. Congrats to them. We'll see if they can push through the late game and get to that top 3. Speaking of top 3, we have Solo Esca Els as your 3rd seed.
Filipino, one of the best LN players in the world, very notorious, has been for the past few years or so. Those stage 2 and 3 are very, very beautiful. A little bit below in terms of the density, but seed number 6 is still really, really good. And look at the average rank. It is getting very, very low.
I just want to say, yeah, this average rank difference is nothing. And I noticed this when I was looking through the MP links. These top 5 in specific, well, I guess 3 through 5, the top 2 kind of flew away, but Els, Ting, and Grip Warrior literally were just battling by about 1,000 points between each other on every map. It was insane.
And I think, yeah, you know the first 2 names. There's no suspense about it. Miko and Bud, Demifine. I think there was absolutely no hesitation when it comes to seed number 1 and seed number 2. Those 2 players were gonna take those spots. It just matter. The order was just kind of uncertain in terms of chokes and so on, but well, there you go.
We see a clear 1 and 2 here. Yeah, these 2. I just want to highlight these top 10. Almost all of these players are players who have just came to prevalence since 2020, like players who weren't around for the last edition of the Long Note tournament, and it is just insane to see names like Ora, Siloesca Els, Onta Bakasi, mixed with this new generation like Demi and Miku Aimbot and Grill Roasted and Ting. Like, it is just awesome to see that the LN community has grown so much since the 2nd edition.
Yeah, like even the top 64 as a whole, we see many mainstay names who are active in the main community, like outside of LN, like overall as the tournament players.
Yeah, for sure. And now with that, I don't think we're gonna have a break. I think we're gonna get right into the round of 64 showcase once we load some stuff up. But overall, I think I'm just so hyped for this tournament. The bracket should be coming anytime soon, and it is going to be such an intense bracket. Like, even starting at, like, round of 32, you're going to be seeing some crazy matchups, and hopefully we're going to have crazy pools to complement that, but I will let you players be the judge of that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been on the we've been working hard for those pools, man. Like, I think like we already have like maybe like 3/4 of the entire pools for the entire tournament ready, and many custom maps as well. I won't spoil the amount of it, but well, you're gonna see it throughout the tournament.
For sure. There's been a lot of work put into this tournament. Like, and no matter what, that is true. So as we get into this first map of the showcase, this is going to be our first coordination pick, and it's going to be Disco Kawaii by Bye for now. And while we start the replay for that, I just wanted to quickly go over the categories, just to refresh anyone who may not have got it from the qualifiers. It's basically an expansion of what we did with them. So we have our coordination picks, our technical picks, our wildcard picks, and our density picks. And we're going to kind of highlight the differences of the individual maps more as we go on. But yeah, this map in specific is going to be a more consistency-oriented map in terms of just having... It doesn't do the same thing over and over. That's not what consistency means. But it does mean it's going to test a lot of release fundamentals. It's going to test your attention with a similar structure, but a lot of change-up. And you're already seeing that with some of the kind of rhythm change-ups here.
Yeah, by the way, Logan's CO means consistency.
I keep forgetting, man.
Coordination, I did the same mistake. You gaslighted me.
Yeah. Nice.
You gaslighted
awesome.
me.
I get it right. It's been like 5 months in pool and confusing the two for me.
Anyways, yeah, Disco Kawaii is very straightforward in terms of snapping and in terms of accuracy. I feel like this is the type of map that you either master or choke on a lot.
Yeah. And this section right here is really hard to get down, especially if you're nervous. Like that trill in, like jacks into the trill into those like wire inverses. You can see your at go away there.
Yeah, I was mentioning the snaps, which were quite simple and very easy to hack. Like, this is the equivalent of a million bait for some people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would say this is a little hard to hack. Just, so, on average, this pool, it's going to be a little bit harder than Stage 1.
Slow inverse.
Or no, a little easier than Stage 1. My bad, I got a ping, so I did read that during it. But, yeah, so the maps are going to be a little easier than the Stage 1, but not a crazy amount. They're still going to be kind of testing your act, testing your fundamentals, especially if you're a player who is good at act or a top seed. You're going to find these maps easy, but you definitely can't sleep on them.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta keep your toes ready. And some people might even want to ban this because it is act bait in a sense.
Oh, yeah. And so yeah, our goal with kind of each category is really to kind of separate the to not have one specific ban bait, because I know last year it was like a lot of people were like, oh, I'm bad at tech or release, so I'm going to ban tech. And then a lot of people are like, I'm bad at density, so I'm just going to ban density. And we're kind of really trying to separate it out. So we had that first coordination pick, tested a lot more of your like just straightforwardness. This is going to test a lot of your staggery, releasey things, and it's going to be Desperate, Stage 3 Cadence by Reveal.
Yeah, so this is a different type of coordination, and we feel like slow releases are part of the coordination skill set. So it does require some slow finesse, and really just it's not very physical at all, but it does require like full control of your fingers and full individuality.
For sure. And this opening, it's pretty serene. You're not going to find way too much difficulty here, more just getting yourself kind of mentally ready. But once it gets into you see these little 1, 2, 3 gallop rhythms here. Pretty simple once you get it down. But it's the chorus that really starts to get the interesting releases into this map.
Yeah, it's just the beginning, and here we go.
And I mean, if you pay attention to kind of what's on the left hand, what's on the right hand, you're really going to get to start to see what is hard about this map. And this map, it's pretty easy to combo. It is not easy to get a SS on or to act.
Yeah, absolutely. And there comes the difference between getting a full combo and getting good accuracy. And getting good accuracy actually requires a fair amount of reading skill in terms of reading those releases and maybe even getting your skin right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you see this build up right here, that anchor. I mean, it's a very trivial anchor, but if you're nervous and mess something like that up, then that's a lot of 200s.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how this plays into a match. because I feel like there are many 200s to be lost in those. Like you blink once and yeah, your score is just gone.
For sure. Yeah, as we come to the end of the map, you see it doesn't let up until the very end. You get those little technical patterns right at the end.
And another, yeah.
Nope.
Nah, go ahead.
My bad. I was just going to introduce for the next map. Oh, we'll be right back. All right, awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, I hope you're liking the pulls so far, because yeah, that is gonna be our third and last coordination pick. So we have 3 coordination, 2 tech, 2 wildcards, and 3 density.
Yep. And people familiar with the 4-digit MWC series are going to recognize this one. It is going to be Ms. Tyrion's Tokyo Ghetto. It is pretty straightforward, a release map. It has a bit of technicality to it, and it is about 3 minutes long, so it's going to test that consistency on the kind of more... a lot of it's not swing, technically, but it's like got that kind of rhythm to it.
In terms of releases, this is no slouch, and this is actually kind of the mix between Desperate and Disco Kawaii. So it incorporates elements of finger coordination and independence, and also those releases, and it's just, yeah, a test of consistency.
Well, this might be a map too where we see people get a really good start to a run, but then they kind of just lose focus, and you see their percent start to gradually go down. Or you see those players who just kind of get a shaky start and it goes up. That's usually what you can start seeing with these longer early maps.
Yeah, this song is also so chill. It's just...
Oh yeah. It's especially chill playing LNs to it, and not that like other dump map that I know exists.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is RO64. This starts pretty light in terms of physicality, and it starts especially light in terms of physicality because this is the coordination. Category.
Yeah. So there's a nice graphic of it on the forum post. The way it kind of works is our coordination picks are kind of aimed to be our lowest physicality picks, while our density picks are kind of aimed to be our higher physicality. And then you have tech and wildcard in between that, and tech is more like kind of snappy, releasey stuff. It sounds kind of vague, but once we get to the maps, you'll see it kind of makes more sense. And then wildcard just kind of, okay, it implements skill sets from X and Y equally.
Yeah, you might even see some maps inside of a skill set that have, I guess, borrows some elements from other categories. For example, we might see some tech elements in the coordination pick, just because it helps differentiate some of those picks.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, this is 3 minutes long. This might be one of the band baits as well, just because people in practice are going to be missing and perhaps even mind blocking. Like, I don't think this is mind blockable as a map especially, but the more you psych yourself into just not missing, the more you're likely to choke, I guess.
Oh yeah, well, the more you try to sharpshoot a map like this, the more you're gonna risk messing up and just dropping a bunch of 200s and missing, and that's really gonna be the risk. Like, players are gonna have to decide, do I want to go for a full sharpshoot run? Is that worth it? Or is it gonna cause me to maybe mess up and then lose because of the score margin? Like score margin is gonna be really small in this round for a lot of matchups, like 1 to 2,000, so that's just something players are going to have to think about. But with that, we're going to go into our next map. And Pataraj, I'm going to let you take this one away.
Yeah, we're going to start. We're going to open the technical section with one of my maps, actually. This is going to be Clematis, and this is going to have an emphasis on shields, actually, as you're going to see very, very soon. The snaps are actually quite straightforward, but this puts a fair amount of emphasis on, I guess technicality. You see, some of those releases are part of technicality / coordination, it's kind of a coordination-oriented kind of tech. That's what I was meaning by categories borrowing some orientations.
Oh yeah. And that makes perfect sense. Like, it's not the most technical map. Like, you wouldn't play this and think tech right away. But, you know, the way I almost think of this map, I think of it almost like a very rudimentary, very, very rudimentary timing hell. And right here is kind of, it's got this jacky structure with the releases going on with it. It's like if one made a timing hell 4 stars.
Yeah, this is pretty slow. This is like a mini timing. This is pretty much an introduction to timing hell, and yeah, the quote-unquote timing hell category might be recurring throughout the tournament.
Possibly.
Possibly. We're just hinting.
Yeah, no, so that chorus, that Jackie chorus, if you mess it up, good luck sparing yourself, because you're probably going to mess up like 2 whole measures. I was trying to get like a replay for this, and I just kept missing there for no reason. It's something that is very niche and unique. It's got, like, reverse shields are such a unique aspect of LN, and this map does a beautiful job kind of testing them, and that's kind of why it's in tech. It's got very unique patterning.
Yeah, absolutely, and this also might be the reason why it might be banned bait.
We'll see. There's a lot of other maps that could be banned bait.
Yeah, like, as a pooler, you either try to put no band-aids, or you put everything as a band-aid, which might be the better strategy.
You can't ban them all. And yeah, so you see this kind of borrows a bit of consistency element here too, where it's repeating this chorus twice, so you nailed that Jack chorus once, you're in match. You might get a little nervous because you're on a good run, and you've got to hit it again.
Yeah, it's actually quite tricky to get. You might want to practice this one especially, or maybe even try some timing hells, actually. It might help.
Oh yeah, and with that, we have a banger coming up, my favorite map of the pool. Present it, let's go. This is going to be Guden's 4-key guess difficulty of M2U's Promise, and I love this map.
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said. This is going to be our second technical pick, and where Clematis was more jacky, this is a lot more snappy in terms of, like, graces and releases, and just having that reading there where you may not have needed it for certain parts of Clematis.
Yeah, absolutely. Those snaps are going to be way more unpredictable, and along with those snaps, you're going to see a fair amount of rise, actually, that's going to interfere with your ability to hit some of those long notes.
Yeah, for sure. And you saw that opening was kind of just a taste of it, of what you're going to get once it hypes back up. But this burst section, you can't close your eyes because these LNs don't end on a static 1/2 snaps, but it is definitely a little bit of a tone down. This is where you get your breather before the real meat and potatoes. And this map has a very dumpy nature to it, and that's going to be put on full display right here.
Yeah, it's just beautiful in how it's interpreting the song. I just love the song, and this map is just a beautiful interpretation of it.
For sure. And you see coming right in there, following the little subtle... Those little chimes in the background, if you're not familiar with this song, that might have seemed really subtle, but that roll really might catch you off guard your first time around.
So wait, do we have protects in this tournament? I feel like staffing so many tournaments that are going on right now, I forget which tournament has or doesn't have protects.
I'm not gonna lie, I forget. Like, I could not tell you. If someone wants to ping me and tell me, that'd be awesome. But yeah, with that first part was a little more snappy. This second part of Promise is going to be a little bit more release-oriented. So it's going to have a nice balance of, like, if you're worse at releases, it's going to kind of show here as opposed to the more snappy side of tech.
Yeah, what's actually funny with ban-based is that since MashedPotato actually confirmed to us that there are protects, ban baits are also protect baits.
That's true. Dude, can we protect this every match and play it? I don't mean for the commentary on this map just to be that it's good, but I love it.
We just wanted to showcase this map in a tournament because it's actually quite difficult to place in a conventional tournament, and that is a recurring theme actually from many maps. They're quite difficult to place in regular tournaments and balance with other long note picks because they're just too unique.
Yeah, that is really true. And so with that, we are going to get into our wild cards. Patraj, if you want to take us away with this next one.
All right, we're going to be introducing Elixir's the fascinating Cat's Eye. A fun fact about this map is that it wasn't ranked when we were considering it for RO64, and we actually saw it being ranked live as we went into pooling, and that was actually really exciting. And I want to shout out Elixir. Elixir has been doing a great job mapping some Niwashi piano songs.
Yeah, for sure. This map is going to be kind of your more. It's a wild card in the way that it's got a lot of consistency element, and it's got the technical element that it has a lot of different kind of surprise snappings thrown at you throughout the map. And so throughout 3 minutes that this map is, it is going to be really easy for just a couple mistakes to slip in here and there, even if you're a perfectly adept player to this kind of patterning.
Yeah, honestly, like we start seeing a fair amount of physicality and density throughout the maps as well. Like wildcard and density categories are gonna showcase that. Wildcard is still gonna feature a fair amount of releases that we can see here. It's quite intense to read through and get good accuracy on.
Yeah, it's weird. This map, like, to me personally, and I don't know if this is how players are going to interpret it, this is so much harder to hack than it looks. Like, it's so simple in terms of snappings in some places, but I just can't get, like, a good score on it, man. I don't know.
Yeah, there are just way too many things happening at the same time that you just have to kind of pick your battles sometimes. Or just be good, I guess.
Yeah, be better. One thing I do want to shout out really quick while this map is kind of continuing on, we got these releasey patterns. I just want to shout out some of the new mappers like Alexire. Then this tournament is going to feature quite a few of them, mappers that are kind of underrated, underseen in the tournament scene so far. And I really hope we get to kind of bring some of those mappers out into the mainstream.
Yeah, especially if those mappers are also looking to map for some more tournaments. Look forward to, for example, 4DM, actual MWC, Combro Cup coming soon, maybe. That wasn't intentional. That was just commentator brain.
Yeah. You see at the key change, this map actually gets a little bit more dense, and now you think the map ends right there, and I know you did. But now you have a whole nother 16 measures to play. Have fun.
Yeah, don't get jump scared. And at almost 3 minutes, this is also kind of a test of consistency in itself. But yeah, just Niwashi piano songs, I love them. And Elixir is just doing a great job of interpreting them. I'm really glad this got ranked.
For sure. It's always hype when we see like a banger map in a pool start to go for rank in any tournament. It's already happened like a couple times here. But yeah.
Yeah.
That is the fascinating Cat's Eye, and now we're moving on to our second wild card. Yeah, I was like, is this wild card 1 or 2? And it's going to be Kobe's Prayer.
Yeah, it's actually a kind of an old one. It is also ranked, but this one dates a few years at least.
I did not replay this. That's funny. But yeah, so this map, the Fascinating Cat's Eye was kind of your longer, more coordination-focused wildcard, had some tech elements. This is going to be shorter and have a bit more of the speed density element to it. You already see some of those kind of snappier LM streams coming in.
Yeah, as for the reason why this is wildcard rather than density, this is not straightforward to actually just no brain and just focus on pure physicality. This actually has some finesse to it. Like, for example, those stagger releases are actually quite, like, first of all, typical of Kobe mapping, and second of all, hard to hack.
Oh yeah, that's kind of why, in one word, this isn't density, just staggers. They are everywhere in this map, and they are brutal to coordinate. You have this kind of slower section, but it's still got some kind of snappier patterns, some little mini jacks. This part right here is really satisfying to play, but also it's very good, like, density, but not full inverse density. You get this speedier density part here.
Oh, yeah, by the way, set this seat 38 for those who care. But yeah, for the rest of this map, like, this is a banger. This is Penorari, and this is one of, like, Penorari. I've seen many, many long note maps of Penorari songs, and I love them.
Yeah, for sure. This guy is really just making some good LN songs. And as this draws to a close, you see this map is pretty hackable if you can get it down, but those staggers are really tough.
Yeah. Again, this is why this is the wildcard. This is a wildcard pick, and we're going into the density picks. And this first density is going to be one of my maps again. That's going to be another Penorari song. And I was talking about loving Penorari LN maps. Guess what? I made one myself.
Yeah, for sure. And this is going to be our first of many, many customs you will see this bracket stage.
Yeah, so I mapped this with being way more straightforward than Prayer was. Like, avoiding a lot of those staggers and avoiding a lot of one-handed interactions as well. Just making it as streamlined as possible. We've got some almost inverses in some places, but this pretty much flows with the song.
Yeah, this map is very kind of just, it represents the song pretty well. It's the intensity definitely in the map definitely shows with the intensity of the song. And this is, as our first density pick, this is going to be our more kind of speedy density, I'd say. And not that the other two aren't, but the other two are going to focus on kind of more coordination-focused aspects of density. This is going to be straight, just like, okay, this is density.
Yeah, like, this is our definition of density. And you see also a slow inverse. We gotta have those slow inverses sometimes.
Oh yeah, they only fit. You see this 1/6 stream part might remind you of Prayer a little bit. If you get lost on them streams, you can lose a lot of ACK, but they are just single streams, so I don't expect too many hiccups there.
Yeah, actually, this might be a little bit heavy in some parts, like almost veering into inverses and so on. We might see another pick that is a little bit lighter in that regard, and another pick which is going to be actually heavier. So I feel like this one might actually be in the middle.
Yeah, I was speaking raw BPM-wise, but patterning-wise, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, speaking of which, next density pick
is going to be Elsa de la Bibliothèque, I believe is how you pronounce that. I don't really know.
Bibliothèque. Yeah, let the French pronounce the French stuff.
It's French? Oh, why did I try to pronounce it?
Oh, ew, French!
Oui. Alright, so, yeah, that's that map. This is going to be from Hylodal, and it is going to be our... This map, in my professional opinion, is the hardest map of the pool. But I also am bad at density. It's got some pretty gnarly inverse where it's almost symmetrically patterned in a way, and you'll see what I mean in a second. This opening is pretty calm, though.
Yeah, we're gonna go into the meat of things pretty soon with this, basically.
Yeah, and you already see it. I feel like a lot of people just thinking about the future are going like, wow, this is round of 64, what are they gonna do for, like, other rounds once it scales off of this? But don't worry, we got it covered, maybe.
Yeah, in my opinion, like, from playtesting those picks, I feel like Elsa de la Bibliothèque puts a lot more focus on almost inverse coordination, actually. And I feel like this goes hard into the patterning that requires you to have your fingers glued to your keyboard almost.
That's an amazing way to describe it. Some of these patterns, like High-Load will pattern this so specifically where you just kind of have to roll your fingers at certain parts, but you don't want to do that when you play LNs. It's weird. Like on your sight read, you're probably going to get way lower on this. Don't sight read the pool.
Yeah. Actually play the map. I think the pool is actually pretty fun and enjoyable if you enjoy lens. Like, why would you play in an LN tournament if you don't enjoy lens? But yeah, High-Load is one of the maps that we wanted to showcase as well. They've been doing many maps, especially late game oriented maps, by the way. But yeah, this is one of their earlier, more affordable maps.
For sure. They've been a great mapper, a great addition to the staff team, and we're excited to show this map and some of their other ones. But for now, that is going to be this map. I also did want to point out the SR is already 4.5, which SR means nothing, but 4.5 in round of 64 was kind of like, whoa.
Hello. And here we go for our last density pick and last regular pick before the tiebreaker. And this is going to be One Crystal China Dress. Buffed to OD7, by the way. It used to be OD6. It is now OD7 for more pain.
Yeah, so I feel like some people who kind of know mappers are going like, wait, Juan? Why is this in density? It's Juan Crystal. Which, maybe you're right. No. So this map, I feel like has a lot of sections where the difficulty is just... It's your kind of medium range density pick. It's between Elsa Day and I can't think, Sailing Force, my bad.
Yeah.
It's got some release here and there, but this map really challenges you in terms of just streaming LNs accurately more than anything. You are going to have to put up with some staggers every now and then, but overall, I think this works really well as a contrasting density pick between Elsa Day and Sailing Force.
Yeah, Elsa de la Bibliothèque is fairly quote-unquote jump streamy. And Sailing Force kind of lends into that aspect as well. But China Dress is kind of more variety incorporating as One Crystal likes to do.
Yeah, and I mean, part of it is we want to have a lot of diversity in the pools, and this definitely gives us that diversity we want in round of 64. Like, we don't want just 3 maps that play like Sailing Force. Not that it's a bad map, but we don't want 3 maps that just play as that kind of straight inverse.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why density does incorporate some amount of coordination and release aspects. And yeah.
And with that, this map definitely, as you've been seeing, has some more simple rhythms to it. Once you get it down, it really shouldn't be that bad for anyone left to play. I personally see this getting picked a lot. It is a very kind of safe map in terms of some of the other maps in the pool being rather risky and technical or releasey.
Yeah, I don't really know if this lands in the first pick territory or kind of something that you want to keep in the middle. I feel like this is kind of a pick that you want to keep for the middle.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it'll be interesting to see how players strategize it. But now with that, we have done all of our original picks from the pool. Now we are going to go into our first LN tiebreaker. And I'm really excited to showcase some of these maps. And we're going to be starting out with Hatsuki Yura's Transmigration, a collaboration between Akatsumi-chan, aka KN Melancholy, and How to Play LN.
Yeah, Akatsumi is one of the mappers that are going to be debuting, actually, in the tournament scene in terms of mapping.
Yeah, what a way to debut as the tiebreaker. This map, if you know kind of how Hatsuki Yura songs are structured, it's going to follow that kind of structure where you're going to have some easier parts in the verse sections that maybe focused more on release, and then you get into the choruses where you're going to have a little more density. Then after chorus 2, there's going to be a really spiky hard part.
Yeah. As a tiebreaker, we tried to look for maps that incorporate at least a bit of all skill sets: coordination, technicality, wildcard, and density. And we've been working with Akatsumi-chan to kind of buff and tweak the map in that regard as well. So this map has gone through some fair amount of modification, like even outside of the tournament.
You see your classic stage 4 patterns right there.
Hello.
So yeah, you already see there's that kind of release in the opening. Now you're getting some of this density coming in. And this map, more than anything, it is a fat consistency test. Like, especially imagine the nerves going into this if you are in a tiebreaker scenario. A round of 64 win or loss can really make or break your bracket. So this is really going to be a nerve-wracking consistency test when you get there.
Yeah, 4 minutes and 24 seconds. That is tiebreaker length, definitely. And OD 7.5, and that is going to be a recurrent thing. I think that we are going to be seeing more OD 7.5s more often than not, actually, because we do want to incorporate accuracy as a tiebreaker criteria.
For sure. Well, especially the tiebreakers are going to focus on density a lot, and in density it becomes really easy to assess if the OD isn't kicked up a little. So yeah.
In terms of difficulty, this is a little bit more difficult than the rest of the picks, I feel like, and that is going to be a common theme for tiebreakers, and that is going to try to ease you into the higher level pools, because going from round 64 to round 32 is not going to be so much of a step up because no one is going to get eliminated, but going from round 32 to round 16 and then to round 16 to quarterfinals and so on, we're going to get less and less players and more stacked players, so we feel obligated to up the ante by a lot.
Yeah, for sure. For people who are feeling kind of underwhelmed about the difficulty of the early pool, I think just wait until one pool later, 2 pools later. It gets hard fast, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, feel free to give us your thoughts, your feedback in the Discord, in the Mappool feedback channel, as usual. We can respond in timely manner.
Yeah. And getting back to this map, you saw a whole kind of another chorus past where it was kind of the same thing as the first chorus, and now, if I remember correctly, this part gets pretty tricky, but I could be remembering incorrect.
Yeah, it's this, like, kind of a small break, but we are going into the meat of things again pretty soon now.
Yeah, you see those kind of offbeat snappings. Like, a lot of this map takes place on the 1/4 snap, so anything that's off that beat, especially when you're trying to kind of tunnel vision a map that has similar snapping, can actually really throw you off. And we're going into the final chorus now.
Yeah, just imagine being in the 4th minute and just still playing this with all those stagger releases and density, and just trying to keep the focus, trying to not drop one single 200 sometimes, because that might what matters in close matchups.
And for sure. And coming into the end of this map, you really can't let your guard down. It's the same thing you kind of played at the opening, but you've really got to just be watching it, because, again, score margins in this stage are going to be close. A little mistake can decide everything, even in this tiebreaker. And with that is going to be our round of 64 Mappool. And don't click off just yet, because we are going to be showing our bracket. But before we do that, do you have any final comments on the pool, Pataraj?
5,000 combo in the tiebreaker, that is real. We are in DLN tournaments. And yeah, just a reminder that we might not have mentioned Seth as a player in the qualifier results, because there was a tiny bit of a technical mistake that kind of deleted Seth from the results. But Seth, it's just seed number 38, safe and sound.
Yeah, and I don't think that messed up the rest of the qualifier results. If it did, then oops, we'll see.
Yeah, I think Seth is actually in the bracket though, so we are going to be seeing some of those matchups, including Elon Musk versus Nanon Bandasi. That was what we were mentioning before. Wait, Stigix versus Apple?
Malaysia matchup. You see Ontivakasi J.
Sun Apple versus Mint? No! Sun Apple versus Mint?
That's awesome.
Sun Apple, no!
DSM match.
No!
Nice. See Lammy versus Imperial Trinity. Grip Warrior versus Cryolian. Wow, Cryolian's a strong round of 64 opponent.
Sven versus Halogen. Halogen taking revenge for soft 6.
No! Yeah, folks. Ruka and Adam Ackerville. I don't know who's gonna win that one. Haven't and Pet. Meowth J versus Link. That's gonna be a close one too.
Oh.
That would be a huge upset if Link could win that. That's insane. Z2S versus Einar. Samura versus Samuel Clumpers. Skidio versus Hyder.
Shiro Pedefreza versus Enthalpy. I believe those two are Spanish players.
Wow.
God. The power of coincidence.
It's crazy. So yeah, you see pretty stacked bracket, a lot of crazy matchups just already in round of 64, and they're just going to get more and more crazy as this tournament goes on.
Oh man, this bracket. I'm already excited for the round 64 matches. Like, round of 64 must be like usually it's like, yeah, it's kind of like the least exciting moment of the tournament. Like it only goes up from here, but no, I feel like we are gonna see some exciting matchups in the round 64 to start with, because top 64 is just that busted.
So with that though, I think we are going to be closing stream. So congratulations to those who qualified, a good game to those who didn't, and good luck for the people returning in the bracket stages. It is going to be a fun few weeks, and we are going to be very excited to come back and share more of it with you guys. But until then, I have been Logan636, and I have been joined by Kataraj. And if you don't have any last words, I guess we're taking off.
Bye.